Hello. Oh my goodness, here we are. It's live time. All right, we are doing a Q&A today. I am going to have comments open. So whoever jumps in here today, we are going to be talking about online teaching. This is a live Q&A today. It's the first one I've ever done. And depending on how it goes, maybe we'll do it again. If you're here, say hello, pop in the comments. Hi, Rebecca. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so here's how this is going to work as people come in and out as needed. I am Rachel from mercifulmornings.com. If you do not know me, hi, Skyla. And so today, this is my first live. Oh, thank you. Skyla has confirmed she can see and hear me. Thank you. I need that validation in my life. Okay, so the way this is going to work, this is my first live on YouTube, and I've been getting a lot of questions about online teaching. And Sam's Creative Life. Hello, good morning. So I had some, because I announced this ahead of time, I had some pre-submitted questions from people that I can answer this morning. So those will be in here as well. But if you have a question about online teaching, not specifically OutSchool, not specifically VIP Kid, those are the two companies that I do teach for, but if you just want to ask about online teaching in general or about either of those companies, drop it in the comments and let me know. If you are watching this live, I will try to answer it while we're here today. And then if you are watching the replay of this later, if you have questions, drop those in the comments and I will come back and respond to those as well. So if a comment comes up in the questions, I'll pop it up here and answer. But I wanted to go ahead and start with some of the ones I got before. So one of the biggest questions I get from people with coaching is, how do you decide what to teach? Okay. Hi, Paula. Welcome. So deciding what to teach is not as difficult as people want it to be or like to think that it is. So teaching with an ESL company like VIP Kid or Wales English, some of the others that you can do, Go Kid, they provide you with curriculum, right? So those are easy. You just show up and you teach whatever you're told to teach. But with platforms like OutSchool, or if you just do your own private teaching online, tutoring, you have to come up with your own curriculum. So I actually have a template. It is free and it should be linked below in the description box. So you can grab that. It is a course creation template freebie. It is free to everyone. And it has been updated now to include a whole page just for brainstorming what to teach. Okay, so you can go through. I want you to think about your strengths and your skills and your expertise, your passions, your hobbies. What do you love? What lights you up and brings you joy? Because when you are creating your own classes, you get to teach whatever brings you joy. A lot of times when we are teachers in a regular classroom or right now remotely, virtually, you're teaching what has to be taught, right? There are standards, there's Common Core. Anyway, so you have standards you have to meet, right? Or you have to teach the subject because that's the job you were hired to do. With online teaching, you can teach whatever you want. Whatever you want. And so pick something that you love. Pick an age group that you love. If you love the little bitties, teach a preschool class. And it can be a one-time class where you just show up and teach the same thing over and over to different kids each time. Or you can have an ongoing class like a book club or arts and crafts where you meet every week and do something different, have a different discussion. I recently kind of did a poll in a big Facebook teacher group, a couple of them actually, and it's so fun to hear teachers talk about what lights them up. I love it. It's one of my favorite parts of this job is to hear about teachers say, I would love to teach baking, right? Or I would love to teach crocheting or whatever it is for you, gymnastics, you can teach anything. So pick the thing that lights you up, because I promise there are kids out there that want to learn. They want to know how to do what you love to do. So if there's something you love to do, pick that. And then you can go through, I've got that template, download it below. You can go through and I go step by step, all the things you need to think about. What age group? How do you need to price your class? How long is your class going to be? How often are you going to meet? All those things are laid out for you. And so start with what brings you joy, what lights you up. You know, I'm all about choosing joy. So that would be my answer for that. All right, the next question that I have, do you have to have an education degree or a license to teach online? So this is a multifaceted question. For some companies, yes. For some, no. So if you are doing, like I mentioned, VIP Kid, a lot of the ESL companies do require you to have a degree, not necessarily an education degree, but just a degree. They do not require, some of them, a teaching license. So every company is different, and you'll want to check on that. With OutSchool, excuse me, if OutSchool, or if you want to do your own private, like just using Zoom, marketing your own classes, or Google Meets, things like that, you can set up your own teaching business that way. And you don't. Even teaching on OutSchool, you do not have to have a degree. You do not have to have a teaching license. You have to have an area of expertise. And like I mentioned before, that could be you are very passionate and have a lot of experience with cake decorating. Maybe you've been a cake decorator, a wedding cake designer for 20 years, and now you'd like to teach kids how to make icing flowers. Okay, I'm really just like, shoo. But these are things that I've heard people talk about. Maybe you have been an accountant for a long time, and you would love to teach teenagers how to make a budget. Maybe you have a background in chemistry, and you would love to teach a class on that for kids. So whatever your background is, for at least for OutSchool, or if you want to do your own private teaching, you just have to have something that you are passionate about, experienced in, good at, that you could teach to other kids. And you're showing it, you're modeling it. You have to be engaging and inviting in your classroom. Does your classroom have to look like this? No. Okay. Hardcore lifelong teacher in the house. That is why my classroom looks like this. And this is just a little corner in my office. If I were to turn this camera around, you guys, hot mess central, you don't want to see the rest of this room. This is my little corner with my little happy decorations on it for the students. This is what they see. So you just need a decent background, and you teach what you love. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I'm just using earbuds this morning. I'm using the camera that's in my laptop. No fancy equipment, just me in my house. So you don't have to have a specialized degree or license to teach children. You have to have a passion. You have to have an expertise. You have to have something that lights you up, that you are excited to share. So if you're jumping in live today, just now getting in here, we're doing a live Q&A about online teaching today. I'm answering questions that were pre-submitted to me. People that couldn't make it live this morning have questions that were sent in, and they can come back and watch the replay later. I'm going to get to as many of them as I can. I do have a meeting with another teacher at 10, so I've got about 45 minutes left that I can do this. And we may not go that long. We'll see how it goes. But if you pop in and you have a question, drop it in the comments, and I will answer that one while we're here as well. Okay, I think we've talked that one to death. Where do you get your images and printables? This is a great question. So I make all of my things in Canva. I love Canva, which it's canva.com. If you want to go to the website, and I can type that in the comments for you, canva.com. There should be a link below as well for that if you decide to use it and want to go with a pro account. There is a free version, but you get more tools, more pictures, more fonts, all of that with the pro account. And it's just a one-time yearly fee you can do. So I love Canva. There's also an app that you can get for it on your phone. I make all of my class images to advertise my classes. I make my presentations, and you can create your images in Canva and then drop them into Google Slides if you want to do it that way, or you can create presentations in Canva and present straight from there. It's amazing. They've added a lot of new features lately. You can do animated videos. You can do basically anything in Canva these days, I feel like. So my images are there, my presentations are there. I make printables. They have a whole section. You can type in math worksheets in the search and it'll pop up examples of worksheets, and you could use it as a template and then design it in your own way, create it with your own images or math problems or whatever it is you're needing it for. So I love it in that there are a lot of images and fonts and designs. There are a lot of templates that you can start from, so you're not starting from scratch. You don't have to be super creative and start your own designs. You can take somebody else's design and tweak it to be your own. I do have Skyla. Skyla says she loves Canva too. Thanks, Skyla. Thanks for the validation. I love Canva, seriously. It's like my favorite tool ever. I use it every day of my life. So check it out. There's a link below for it if you want to get into that and start using it for your classroom. And this is good whether you are an online teacher or a brick and mortar teacher. It's just a great resource to have. And because it's Canva, everything in there you can use and sell. You can make a business logo. You can make flyers and posters and all the things. So the images in there, it's copyright free stuff. You're good to use it. So it's kind of like Unsplash is a good website to get images from as well. If you want copyright free materials, images that you can use, that's another good one. But I'll just sing Canva's praises all day long. I have some videos you can check out on the channel about Canva. There's one about OutSchool course images, how to create one of those. There is one about how to do the presentations. If you want a presentation, Skyla, listen, I'm gonna stick this up here. Skyla's mocking me now. I do literally use it every day of my life, literally every day of my life. And thanks for pointing that out. But I think there's 3 Canva videos altogether that I have out there for you. So there's the presentations, OutSchool images, and worksheets. If you want to kind of just see a quick, this is how you can make a worksheet in Canva, going off of a template that's already there. Paula asks, do you use Manycam? I don't, but I'll tell you a couple of really good Manycam resources if you need them. Let me think of names. Amanda Panda teacher, look her up. Amanda Panda, she is a VIP Kid teacher, and she is actually in the process of creating like Manycam kindergarten. She is the queen. She's the queen of Manycam. Also, if you would like a cheap, easy ebook to kind of walk you through Manycam, Casey Morrow just recently published a Manycam ebook, and she is a unicorn teacher, I believe is her name on things, unicorn teacher, Casey Morrow. She's amazing, but she has an ebook that just went out about Manycam. So if you are interested, check on Unicorn Teacher's ebook, Casey Morrow. It's on Amazon, and I believe it's $1.98 or $1.99, something like that on the Kindle. And then Amanda Panda is the queen and coming out with a course for teachers, quick, easy course on how to use Manycam. So those would be my 2 go-to resources for that excellent question. Thanks for asking. All right, let's see. Is it possible to teach online while still teaching in a school? Oh, I get this one a lot, because teachers are drowning. Anybody in here? Oh, Skyla says it is $1.99. So $1.99 Kindle ebook from Manycam on Amazon. Go grab it. Okay, teachers are drowning right now. If you are a brick and mortar teacher, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you need. It sounds, when I mention online teaching to brick and mortar teachers, it's almost like that, la, 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 like they can't handle another thought of taking on something else. But I do know brick and mortar teachers who do also teach online. And let me tell you how that works out, okay? When you are teaching online, either before or after your normal teaching hours, if you do it early in the mornings, if you do it in the evenings, or if you just do some on the weekends, when it's something that lights you up, when it's something that brings you joy, if you love baking or you love crafting and you want to do it, if you make it a job where you get paid, you're getting to teach, which you already love to do. I promise you didn't get into teaching for the money, right? Although you can make good money with online teaching, but you got into teaching because you love teaching. There are hobbies or activities or subjects that you love that bring you joy that you might not get to teach all the time. This is your opportunity. You do it. You teach what you love. And so when you're doing what you love and getting paid to do it, it's like a surge of energy that you didn't know was possible. I love it so much. Whenever I'm tired, I'm having a rough day, I get on there. I love preschool. I don't know if you can tell from my background here. I love the littles. And so if I have a preschool class, show and tell that's construction themed, it's one of my favorite classes. We just show up for 30 minutes in a Zoom session and everybody gets to bring their construction toys and we name all the different ones and we talk about colors and we count them and we look at a book about it. It's awesome because I love it. I'm not going, oh, I got to go to work. I am excited and I always feel better after I do it. So if you feel drained with teaching and you are in a brick and mortar situation, know that doing an online class on a subject that you love and setting your own price to do it and doing it on your own schedule, it's a completely different world. It's a completely different mindset, and it's going to give you joy. It's going to help you reclaim the joy of teaching. That's the best way I know to put it. Okay, this is hilarious, and I'm sticking it up here. Skyla and I work a lot together. Her children, she's got 5 girls for the record. They think that I'm their aunt. I have had several of them in my classes, and also just if we talk, they'll come in like, oh, it's Aunt Rachel. She's your sister. We're not related at all, but I'll take it because they're all super cute and I love them. So I'm Aunt Rachel. I'm happy to be Aunt Rachel to anybody who would like me to be Aunt Rachel. But yes, is it possible to do it? Yes. You can teach in the mornings before work. You can teach in the afternoons, evenings after work, or you get through your work week and then you do the thing that lights you up for a little bit, even if it's just 1 or 2 classes on Saturday or Sunday on the weekend. Bring that joy to a kid, give that joy to yourself, do the things that you haven't had time to do and get paid doing it. It's like the best of all worlds. That's my 2 cents on that. And that is also feedback that I have gotten from other brick and mortar teachers who are in that situation. So that's my 2 cents on all that. Let's see what was next. And I'm going to get a sip of coffee because I'm just talking a lot. This is what everybody wants to know. How much can you make teaching online? As much as you want. That's the best way I know to answer that, because if you are teaching with an online company like VIP Kid, GoGo Kid, Palfish, one of those, they set your pay, right? So you make so much per hour or so much per class, and then you open up however many classes you want to be available for to teach, and they book you, right? So with that, yes, you can make as much as you want, in that you can open the slots that you're available to teach or as few as you want to teach. With something like private teaching on your own, either throughout school or setting up your own side online teaching gig, tutoring, or teaching your own classes, you set your prices. You set your own price. What do you want to charge for your time? So literally, you can make as much as you want, and you can do it one-on-one with tutoring and set your fee for a set amount of time, or you can do a small group session and charge per student. So here's a scenario for OutSchool. Even if I just do a one-time 30-minute class, but I charge $10 a student, right? When within a half hour, if I take 10 students in that class, that's $100 in 30 minutes. Now, if you're doing it independently, that's your $100. That's like, if you go like for an hourly rate, that you just made $200 an hour, right? If you do 2 of those, it's $200 in an hour. With OutSchool, because they do all of the marketing for you, they provide the Zoom teaching platform, they provide the communication with the parents, they have all the overhead, right? You make your classes, you set your prices, you are an independent contractor, but they do the overhead marketing and logistics for you. So they take 30% to cover those fees, right? So you get 70%. Even still, I just made $70 in half an hour. What teacher in a brick and mortar setting can say, I make $140 an hour? I never did. I never did in a classroom setting. I was doing good if you made that in a day, right? Substitute teaching here, I think it's between $50 to $75 a day for substitute teaching. I want to put it into perspective. So one of the reasons I'm so excited about online teaching, and I do promote it and coach it so much, is because as a teacher, I've done special education, I've done early intervention, I've done preschool developmental services, I've taught 3rd grade, I've been in a lot of different facilities, teaching situations, all the things. So I know as a teacher what the pay is like. I know what the system is like. I know what the paperwork, special ed teachers, I see you and I see your paperwork. I see your IEP meetings and I feel it deeply in my soul. And I want you to know that there are other options out there for you to find that will also bring you joy and money. That's what this is all about. That's my whole life goal right now, is to help people reclaim the joy of teaching and to help you find some freedom with your schedule and with your finances. It's been amazing for me. I was forced into it a few years ago because of health issues. I didn't choose it. I was forced into it. I had to go home. I had to leave the classroom. But I found something that lights me up. I found something that allows me to be flexible with my schedule, to get to sit here and share all of this live on YouTube with you, and to make however much or little I want. I book my schedule as I need to. So that's my passion. That's why I'm here. That's how much you can make online, however much you want. All right, let's see. I think I'm just going to do a couple more. I do have that other meeting in a little bit. So, and if you pop in and have any other questions, drop them in the comments. I'm happy to answer live questions as well. These are just some from people who couldn't be here this morning, but they'll come back on and watch the replay. All right. Oh, how can you manage behavior in a Zoom class? So I recently did a quick video on classroom management, managing difficult learners in a digital classroom. It's difficult because for brick and mortar teachers, when you're in the classroom, you kind of have that presence, right? The teacher presence, the teacher look. There can be like physical, like timeout, principal's office. There are resources you have available to you, reward systems, all of these things. It's tricky when all of your students are on the other side of the computer screen. You can't get to them. And there's only so much you can do with words, right? So within Zoom, I have a couple of tips. You can take them for what they're worth, but these are things that are helpful for me. For one, teaching in a virtual setting is completely different than teaching in person. When you're in person, yes, you need to be engaging and interactive, but it's like amped up times 100 when you're through the computer, right? You've got to be engaging and interactive. Movement is key. If the kids are just sitting and staring and listening, like they're gone. My kids won't sit through that. So you've got to be asking questions, having them do things, interactive, hands-on activities, movement. If I'm counting with my preschool kids, we might also be doing jumping jacks as we're counting. It's got to be engaging for them. Another thing that's very helpful is reward systems. And I've got some kids that like stickers. You wouldn't think stickers would work in the virtual setting, but especially for little kids. I know for the older kids, this is not a solution, but for the little kids, just like, here's a sticker that you get, and I put it on a piece of paper. Like, look at that sticker that you got. And they're like, yes, I just got a dolphin sticker. They're not actually getting the sticker, but they see that they've earned a sticker, and that's rewarding. So that's something for the littler ones. For the older ones, you're gonna need a different kind. Maybe it's a grade adjustment. Maybe it's you get an extra 5 minutes to whatever. You're going to have to come up with some for the older kids are not my forte, but there's got to be some kind of reward incentive for good behavior in the virtual setting. So kind of brainstorm that for your group that you have. Another thing, and these are like last resorts within Zoom, there's the waiting room, right? Usually when you get into the Zoom classroom and you're the host, everybody else is in the waiting room. You have to let them in. So whenever a kid is really misbehaving and you've warned them that they must not behave that way anymore and they just continue, you can put them back in the waiting room. It's kind of like a little virtual timeout. Just stick them back in the waiting room, and then you can let them back. Like, if you can't behave, I'm going to have to put you in the waiting room. And then you do it, and then you can let them back in. Now, if you remove a student from class, they're gone. That's it. There's no letting them back in from that. So that's like the end all be all. There's going to have to be major communication between you and the parent if that occurs. But those options are there if it's intense. So those are my top tips for that. All right, I think I'm going to do one more, and we're going to wrap it up because I got to get ready for this other meeting. How long does it take to get students in your classes? So, and this could be for VIP Kid, or this could be for OutSchool. I don't know if they were referencing a certain company with this question. So I would say it depends on a lot of things. There's a lot of different factors, but if you are trying different types of classes and opening up your schedule, if you are available to teach, right, those enrollments can come pretty quickly. Some things that you can do, you can share your classes, whether it's with OutSchool or, hey, I'm a VIP Kid teacher, or I'm doing independent teaching or tutoring. Share them on your social media channels. If you've got Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is that you use, LinkedIn, Twitter, put it out there and say, I'm doing this, I'm offering this. Maybe you offer a discount for the first 10 people that sign up. Think along those lines. You kind of have to have that marketing mindset, right? Now, if you're with OutSchool, they're already contacting parents and sharing your classes. They are running Facebook ads for you and putting it out there in front of people who, within the algorithm, was, I think Serena calls them like the internet fairies. They do their magic and your ads pop up for the people that they apply to, right? And so that's happening because you're giving them that 30% to market for you. So you need to let people know that you're doing it, but it can happen. For me, it happened within the first week or two. For some people, there were some tweaks that needed to be made, and so it took a little longer until they adjusted their classes. But if you're having trouble getting enrollments, that's what people like me do. We coach and help to make sure those classes are getting booked for you, and you've got the best class you can offer out there. And sometimes you'll make a class and you think, this is amazing, and then it flops. And then you'll just whip up another one like, we'll see if this one, and that's like the most successful one. So you never really know. It depends on, right now, everything's so unpredictable, right? Nobody knows what's happening from day to day. So it's kind of the same way with our enrollments, but you just try to roll with it and keep trying new things and opening up those time slots for whenever you are available to teach. All right, if there are no other questions, I have gone for 30 minutes, which I think is plenty. I'm going to come back to this, make sure, check my comments. All right. I think I got them all. Yay, we did it, you guys. Thank you so much for those of you who were here live with me. If you are not already subscribed to this channel, be sure and do it and hit the bell so that you are notified when I do go live. I'm going to try to do this some more. I'm going to try to do some live interviews in the future. That's going to be fun. And whenever I have a new video pop up with tips and tricks and encouragement, you'll want to be notified for that. So subscribe, click the bell, like this video if it was helpful for you. I'm so thankful for those of you who were here with me this morning and your comments and your questions. And we're going to wrap it up there. Happy